Hey everyone, Ipsy here. Today I am going to be showing you how to make this little flower. It is a very quick project and pretty easy to learn. I do have a slightly more advanced version for this flower as well, which I will hopefully be doing a tutorial on very soon. In order to make this flower today, you will need a crochet hook. The size is really up to you. I really like my E hook. If you're a beginner, I do suggest an H or an I hook. It's just a little easier with a bigger hook. You'll also need some yarn. This is just a worsted weight, medium weight for yarn, and I chose yellow today. And you will need a pair of scissors and a needle. That is technically optional. I find it easier to tie in my ends with a needle than with my crochet hook. If you can do it with your crochet hook, then go for it. All right, so to start, we are going to make your slip knot. Now, I will say you can start this with a magic ring. I personally do not like magic rings. I find them difficult to do, but know that that is an option if that's easier for you. So I start with a slip knot and then chain 2. That can also be a magic ring if you would like. Okay, and then you're going to single crochet 10 either in your magic ring or for me, if you're following me exactly, in that second chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And something I tend to do, it seems, I don't know if it makes it more even, there's 5. I make half of them on one side of this knot and then the other half on the other side. I feel like it gives me more room, especially the farther along I get, especially if I'm doing like 8 or 10 or 12. Those are pretty big numbers, and yeah. So then what you're going to do next is you're going to slip stitch in the first chain. So I always have to count back, or the first single crochet, you're going to slip stitch. Okay, so I counted back. That's the first one. And then you're just going to do a slip stitch. This should be pretty universal if you're doing my method or if you're doing a magic circle, but just pull that on the back to kind of close that middle up. Just looks a lot nicer. Okay, next thing, this is the last round, honestly. This is a quick project. This is only 2 rounds. If you want to have a middle part to your flower, like this yellow color, then you can attach a new yarn. I'm just going to keep going with yellow because I want mine to be all the one color, but that is an option as well, and this is when you would do it because the next round is the petals. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to chain 2, and then in that next, or no, in the same stitch, you're going to half double crochet in that same stitch that you just put that slip stitch in. Half double crochet, and then you're going to do 2 double crochets. So there's 1, and there's 2. Okay. Then you're going to go back and do our same stitch as we've been doing, do a half double crochet and a single crochet. That is a lot to fit in one stitch, but I promise it'll look nice at the end. In the next stitch, you're going to slip stitch. Okay, and then you're just going to repeat that. So in this first stitch, well, you're going to chain 2 first, actually. And then you're going to half double. And then double. Double again. And then a half double. And a single crochet. Okay. And then in the next stitch, remember you're going to do that slip stitch. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around. So you should have 5 petals. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time how to do the petals. You're going to chain 2. In the next stitch, you're going to half double crochet. And then you're going to do 2 double crochets. Then do a half double crochet. And then finally a single crochet. And then always remember to put that slip stitch in the next one. All right, I'm going to finish this up and then I will meet you back at the end to finish up our project. All right, and now I am at my last slip stitch here. Okay, so what you're going to do, sometimes your middle will come open a tiny bit, especially we've done a lot of tugging on this, so you can just pull that back again. But what you're going to do to finish this off, you've already done a slip stitch, which is usually enough, but I like to do a chain and then snip your yarn and then just pull that. You do have to kind of flatten these down a tiny bit. We did put a lot of stitches in each of those. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're just going to take your needle or your crochet hook, either way, whichever works better for you. And you're just going to weave those ends in wherever you can. So that they are gone. Another thing that you can do if you want to leave you could honestly leave either one, but I would leave the outside one if you're going to sew this onto a project. These little flowers are great for appliques, or if you want to put them on, or I would honestly put a whole bunch together in a string and put it in like a doorway or a window. I think that would be really pretty. You can attach them to just about anything though, and it will be great and look really nice. All right, so there is my little flower, and he is all done. I also made a pink one before, so there's a couple together. And they're pretty quick to do, especially once you get the pattern down. If you liked this video and learned anything from it, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends. I hope to see you all soon. Bye.